Welcome back everyone to ABAP on HANA session. Thank you so much for trusting me and enrolling for the course. I hope many of you have already arranged your servers yourself or through the option which I offered you last week. And I have got so many requests from many of you, and hopefully all of you have now the server arranged for yourself. In today's class, we will start with questions which you guys have regarding the server. Towards the end of the class, I will also take up the questions which I've got over the email regarding Amazon web server account. Those who have set up the CAL server in AWS, I'm going to take up your questions towards the end of the class. So let's continue with our class, and towards the end we will look at the AWS questions. I've also invited a couple of my students who have watched my YouTube videos regarding AWS account setup, and I will be demoing it to them as well in case if they have any open questions. So let's start quickly with the today's class with a nice little cute story. So when I was a small kid, my mom one day came and she asked me to woke up because Anubhav, you got to go to school. So we all in our life have a time then when we were in school and we refused to go to school. So whenever your parents used to come to you and say, wake up, you got to go to school, you always have one thing to say, Mama peet dard kar raha hai. I'm not feeling good. I don't like going school. It all happened in our lives. So once upon a time there was a kid who was sleeping, and his mom is trying to wake him up, and he's saying, I don't want to go to school. And then the mom says, why you don't want to go to school? Give me two reasons. And then this guy says, I don't want to go to school because every teacher hates me, and second reason is every student also hates me. Then somehow he gets wake up, and then he say, Mom, you tell me the two reasons why should I go to school. And then mom says that reason one, you are 52-year-old, and reason two, that you are the principal of the school. So that's what happens all in our life, guys. We all have responsibilities to bear. At the same time, we all have lot to do. But can we give excuses of our responsibilities to not to do what we supposed to do? The year 2017 and half year already passed through with 18 as well. The first quarter is already gone. Every year when you get into school, when in your childhood, you are always excited in the first day of your school because you're going to get new books, new bag, new shoes, new school dress. Everything is new. You can all over start fresh. And that's exactly the time here, guys. Whatever has happened in the past has happened. This is the time you guys can start fresh. Every single chapter, your notebook is empty. You can start your chapter fresh in your notebook. Forget about the past, what you have written in your notebooks. In the past, what has happened has happened. It was past. Look at the future. And that's what I want to now introduce you, a way of learning better than the conventional way of learning. Every one of you, I urge you to buy a notebook and pen. Open the first page of that notebook, which is empty. Put your name over there and put ABAP on HANA training session. And after every single video you are watching or revising, every single video or every single class, start noting down what am I teaching you. If this is what you follow, nobody will be able to beat you. And that's what is Guru Mantra, the reason behind my success, reason behind my learning, what I do. Whenever I learn something, I always have a notebook and pen in my hand, because when you write with the pen in the notebook, you never forget it. So follow that best practice, guys, which I am following since years, and what makes me learn things, what makes me remember things. Please do that. If you do it, then nobody will be able to beat you. Otherwise, you will forget things. So start noting down things using notebook and pen. Whatever has happened has happened. Start afresh with a fresh notebook, and let's get started with today's class. So the first thing about the server access, many of you have came to me and got the server access, or using AWS you already got the server access set up. Now this is your 3-tier architecture, your UI layer, And basically we're going to connect to our application layer ABAP. This is your application layer ABAP. How are you going to connect to your application layer ABAP? This is what we will see first. We will also look at our HANA DB. We have our HANA DB where ABAP is running on top of SAP HANA. Be it a CAL server, be it a local server, which you have got it from me. I will show you how to connect to both of these servers today first. So the very first thing, guys, what we've been using by far in the industry is SAP GUI tool that is still valid with ABAP on HANA. You can connect to your ABAP on HANA server to the ABAP instance using SAP GUI. Now, those who have got the access from me or from the CAL, you would have got an IP address, and with that IP address, you will be able to connect to this SAP server locally. Okay, from your local computer you can. So both CAL and my server provides you an option to connect to this ABAP on HANA server locally. Now I will first show you the configuration which you can use with my server to be able to connect using SAP GUI to the local server. Now the first question is, many of you emailed me, Anubhav, we don't have SAP GUI. Where can we download it? So I will show you that first, how to set up the SAP GUI in your local system, guys. So let's go to our training blog. I'll just go to the training blog. I have already provided a link in our study material to be able to access SAP GUI download and install in your local system. So go to useful links and you can see I have uploaded SAP GUI download link over here. You can go to this link and you all can download SAP GUI and install in your local system for free. This is the very first activity you got to do so that you can connect to your SAP server. Now coming to two options. Option one, where some of you have already set up the CAL server. There you get an IP address. That IP address you got to put it in your SAP logon to be able to connect. Option number two, where I gave you an IP address. I gave you server. For the server which I gave you, I have also uploaded in session material a screenshot of SAP server. You can see SAP S4 server PNG. Just do a view on this. It will open it in another tab. And now you will find the SAP GUI configuration to be able to connect to this S4 HANA server, which I had provided to all of you, those who have requested. So now if you go to my SAP GUI, which I had installed from the same link, I can see that it's been added over here. And if I right click and do properties, you can see the server has already been added to my system. Locally, I can access this. Same will be used later point of time to access is from ADT. What is ADT? We will discuss that in today's class. Okay, so that's the server detail, guys. How to connect your server from local system. Don't use the IP address which I gave you in the email. Those who opted for server, don't use that IP address. That IP address should be used for connecting remotely. And how do you connect remotely? For that also a document is been already uploaded here. The document name is S4HANA Server Login Guidelines. This is the document you can follow. Okay. Now for MacBook, I'm not sure. In the MacBook, I don't know whether you guys have MSTSC, Remote Desktop Connection Facility or not. I heard some people using MacBook also, they were able to actually connect to it, but I'm not sure. Do we have something of that sort over there like MSTSC what we have in Windows? So we have now control window R and put MSTSC, press enter, and now you got to put that IP address which I gave it to most of you. Okay, and click on connect. Yes, from MacBook local GUI you can connect to this server, no problem about it. No problem, you will be able to do it. Okay, so the IP address I've also provided to all the people. This IP address remains same for everybody, and now you can connect remote to the remote server with the provided credentials which I gave to all of you. Okay, so now just connect to the server and you will see it will launch the remote logon. Okay, you can see it will launch remote logon. Now in this remote logon, guys, we have SAP HANA access. So now coming back to the PPT to explain you, so you will be able to access ABAP system from local SAP GUI, and you can access SAP HANA. If you are using AWS, you can access SAP HANA directly from local computer also using HANA Studio or Eclipse. This is possible with AWS, but with my server, you can access to SAP HANA only and only by remote desktop. Okay, so you can see already in the remote desktop, I have SAP HANA Studio kept on the desktop. You can double click on this and it will launch SAP HANA like this. You can see the server is already added. So those who have got the access, those who have requested, I have already given them the users, their dedicated users. You all can go ahead and see that SAP HANA Studio is up and running in HANA Studio or not. Clear? So SAP HANA related stuff, only HANA related stuff, we're going to do it in the remote server. SAP ABAP related stuff, we're going to do it from SAP as well as from Eclipse using local computer. Now, next very important point is later point of time towards the end of course, we are also going to do some Fiori development, SAP UiPath and Fiori development for Fiori analytical apps. So for Fiori development, we are going to use something called SAP Web IDE personal edition. Okay. So how to set up SAP Web IDE personal edition? I have already explained it in one of my YouTube video, for which I'm going to put the link over here, how to set up your SAP Web IDE personal edition. And then you can connect to our ABAP system to be able to talk to the OData service directly from your local SAP Web IDE as well. Okay. That's what you will be able to do it. Okay. So this is what I will also guide you. So how to set up SAP Web IDE personal edition. I will give you a video link now for that. So just follow that. This is not right now required. It is required when you get into the analytical app development towards the end of the course. But this will also be possible. Now, those who know Web IDE Personal Edition, you can connect to this our ABAP server, S4HANA ABAP server, to be able to access OData services by creating a destination. And that destination file is also uploaded in our training blog. So you can see there's a destination SFO. Just download this destination file to your local computer. Okay, download this and go ahead and place this destination file in your Web IDE folder. So I'll go to my Web IDE folder. Here is my Web IDE folder, config master destination, and here you put that file. After downloading it, it has all the required configuration to be able to connect from Web IDE to your ABAP on HANA system to access OData services. Right now, not of use for you, but yes, this is something which we would need in upcoming days. Now, the beauty of this server, which I like the most, you can also access Fiori Launchpad from local computer. Okay, you can also access SAP Fiori Launchpad from local computer, from local browser actually. For that, what you need to do, guys, for that you need to download another file which I've also given into the blog, into our training blog. It's called host file. Okay, if you go back, you see something called host file. Just download this host file, go to your computer, window R, and put here drivers. Press enter and go to etc folder and paste that host file here. Replace the existing host file of your computer or make a backup of it. First put in old and just paste the one which I give you over here. That's it. After you do that, you can now access OData services. You can also access, all the OData services locally from your computer. You see, from local computer, I can now access OData services of my ECC system. You see, locally I can. Even I can access now Launchpad. Let me show you accessing Fiori Launchpad. And Fiori Launchpad Designer also you can access from local computer. And that's the beauty. You can't get these things with the CAL server. In the CAL, you'll have an issue for this. Okay. So that's why I recommended you to go with S4 HANA server option. Many of you have already requested and I've got the users created for them. So that's a good part. And you can actually access Fiori Launchpad also from local computer. You see, it's launching SAP Fiori Launchpad Designer for me in my local computer. And all the videos which I'm giving free on Anubhav Learning series are also using the same server. So if you have this server access, you can practice all my free Anubhav Learning series videos. Okay, that's what you all can practice. So that's about the local access. I think I've given all the details for you to be able to connect from SAP GUI system to ABAP server, from Fiori Web IDE to be able to connect to ABAP server, for Launchpad to be able to connect to ABAP server. And then now also I showed you how you go to remote desktop to be able to see SAP HANA Studio to be able to connect to HANA DB. Now coming the main aspect, if you are getting one tool to connect to HANA DB and another tool to connect to a BAP system, and imagine you have your development, your quality, and your production, how many SAP GUI windows you will end up opening, right? You got to open multiple SAP GUI window, one for dev, one for Q, one for prod, one for, blah, blah systems. So that's why SAP have thought for creating one single tool, and using this single tool, one single point, single access point to all the ABAP systems plus HANA systems. So they wanted to do this, and that's where they give a introduction to SAP ADT, ABAP development tools for Eclipse. Now all your entire ABAP development can be done on top of Eclipse, and that's what we will be using throughout this course as our development environment, ABAP development tools in Eclipse. Now the beauty of this tool, you can access both SAP ABAP system as well as SAP HANA system from the single tool, ABAP development tools in Eclipse. Not just all, you will also be able to access all your quality production development systems with a single tool called ABAP development tools in Eclipse. Now remember the server which I gave, you cannot access HANA DB from local computer. For HANA DB alone, you got to go to your remote desktop. But if you're using Amazon server, AWS Cal server, then you can access HANA DB and ABAP with single Eclipse, which I already demonstrated in the server demo video. Clear everybody? What are all the server details to connect from local system, where to download SAP GUI, how to connect to Web IDE, from Web IDE to ABAP system. What about Fiori Launchpad server access? How to access Fiori Launchpad from local system. So for this, you need host file. Yeah, this host file, you need it. And for the above one, you need the SF4 file, which I have already showed you how to download. For SAP GUI, I showed you how to download SAP GUI. So this download of SAP GUI is also taught. And the screenshot is what I've also pasted this for server access. The screenshot is there for server details. Those who have not opted for server, please don't try and log in, and don't try to reset some other's password. Don't do malicious activities, because I'm sharing it with you because I trust all of you, the server details with all of you, those even those who haven't opted for it. So don't try to do malicious things like, checking somebody else's password or doing other things. Don't do that. It will hamper all of us together. And then I will show you now how to set up ADT, what is ADT, why to use, how to use, where to download, where to set up. All that we'll discuss in a minute. And then you also know that using MSTSC, using remote desktop connection, you are able to also access the HANA DB directly. HANA Studio is pre-installed inside the server. You all can go and access. You can see HANA Studio shortcut. If you don't find it, just go to Windows and search for HANA Studio. You will definitely find it over there. And just let me know if you're facing any other difficulties. Clear everybody? So that is what the server access from all the directions is there. The beauty of the server which I offered is to access everything from local system. I already told you the price for this. They are charging 2,500 INR per month per user. Okay, this is what they're charging, and I think it's a good option as compared to Amazon. My last month Amazon bill was 9,000 INR. For I was practicing continuously about 2 to 3 hours a day. So this is what my last month bill for Amazon was. I stopped using Amazon server. I am now only using this server, and the required data which was needed to be able to work with our practice exercises is also uploaded into the server already. I have already uploaded that data into the server. So all the exercises we can try it out. In fact, I'm going to use the same server for entire training. Okay, that's what I will be doing. Now, moving on to the ADT. What is ADT? Why we use ADT? You saw the one advantage clearly, that using ABAP development tools in Eclipse, we can access all our development, quality, and production system together. right? That's what we can do it. So let's talk about what is ABAP development tools in Eclipse. Okay, ADT. Now let me first take up some questions regarding servers. Some people are asking thing, is it necessary to install SAP GUI locally? Uh, or can I use SAP GUI from remote server? You can use SAP GUI from remote server. SAP GUI is also available in remote server. You can go ahead and connect directly to the system from remote server. There is no need to install SAP GUI locally in your system. That's absolutely fine. Okay. How to install ADT? I am coming to that. Just hold on your question. I will show you that now. What is ADT? How to install? I will show you that. Now, okay, clicked on pin icon and SAP HANA Studio opened. Yes, absolutely. Now, what is the difference between HANA Studio and Eclipse? We will come to it. Just give me a minute. Let me complete that topic, ADT. Then you will understand. Now, see HANA folder in desktop. There are 3 folders are there. No problem. You can use any one of them. That's okay. One silly question, SAP GUI 7.4 folder, which one or multiple files I need to install? Okay, so there's one question, which file to install for SAP GUI? Go to the training blog, go to useful links, click on SAP GUI download, and when you download this, guys, this complete zip file extract in your system. In that you will see SAP GUI front end. Let me see if I've already downloaded it. I'm not sure, I don't have it now. So you got to install SAP GUI front end. Go to front end folder and install it. Okay, go to front end folder and install it. Okay, that's what you got to do it. Okay, Ritu, fine. So now I think you all have the necessary details to be able to work with server. However, you can still drop me your questions in case if you have anything open. Now, what is ADT? Okay, now let me just start with introduction first for Eclipse. What is Eclipse? Very simple question. We are a Bapper. We don't even know what is Eclipse, but we see that people around us are working somehow with something called Eclipse. So let's first talk about Eclipse. So Eclipse is nothing but just a development environment. Don't think Eclipse is Java. This is a very common misunderstanding which we all have. Whenever somebody say Eclipse, we think it's Java. No, guys, Eclipse is just a development environment. It is just like SE38 or SE80 what you use. Clear, everyone? It's just a development environment, guys, which allows you to develop some code, deploy some code, change some code to be able to connect to server. That's what Eclipse is. Now, Eclipse is a very rich development environment. I call it as IDE, integrated development environment, which is used by developers across the world for wide variety of developments. It could be Java based development, or they are doing Android development, they are doing maybe iOS development or ABAP development for that matter. Yeah, or HTML website development, EJB, anything. Lot of different developments are done via Eclipse. It's a development environment. Okay. What is the latest version of it? The latest version, and the beauty of Eclipse is it's free and open source. Okay, which means anybody can download Eclipse, they can install in their computer, and they don't have to pay any licensing fee to anybody. You can also, if you're crazy, you can download the source code with which Eclipse itself is built, edit that source code, and upload your own Eclipse. That's why it's called open source. You can edit and upload it your own source code. Clear, everyone? What is Eclipse? Very simple to understand. The latest version of Eclipse is Eclipse Oxygen. So there are multiple versions of Eclipse like Juno, Mars, Neon, yeah, Kepler. So I will write them in the order in which they were released in this world. So Juno have come first, then Kepler, then Mars, Neon, and then now we have Eclipse Oxygen, which is latest. Okay. Now, what SAP have done? SAP thought that why can't we use Eclipse, because it's very popular across all the developers and slowly SAP is going also towards openness. So they thought, why can't we develop something so that our ABAP developers will be able to build ABAP applications, ABAP programs using Eclipse. And that's what SAP have done. They have built a toolkit which, when installed in Eclipse, we can start developing ABAP applications. Okay. So SAP have developed a toolkit to be able to enrich and empower the developers who are using Eclipse already, also allow them to go ahead and start using ABAP development applications, ABAP application development on Eclipse. So that's what called ADT, ABAP Development Tools, ADT on Eclipse. Clear everyone? So it's nothing but what is ADT? It's just a toolkit which you install in an Eclipse environment to be able to enable your Eclipse environment to be able to do ABAP development. Clear everyone? What is ADT? It's a big fancy word. It's nothing but just a small piece of code, a small piece of toolkit. It's a tool which you install inside Eclipse environment to be able to do ABAP development. Now SAP have also done one thing. When SAP HANA was arrived, they were also in need. They were also in need for a tool to connect to HANA system. Now they can't use SAP GUI for that because HANA is a database and you can't use SAP GUI to connect to a database directly. You always use SAP GUI to connect to ABAP layer, application layer. So what they've done, they have thought of going with open sources and they found Eclipse is a very wide variety, wide range of open source, which is adapted widely. So they thought of building something using Eclipse. So what they've done, they've downloaded the source code, Eclipse source code, and changed it completely to be able to support HANA development, HANA connections, okay, to be able to connect to HANA. This is what they've done, and that's what give a birth to HANA Studio. So HANA Studio is an enhanced version of Eclipse. It's a modified version of Eclipse built by SAP. Clear? So now they have thought that we have HANA Studio and now ABAP also has to come on Eclipse. So they have to again download and adapt this complete source code to support ABAP also, which they didn't do. Now they found a better approach. What is the better approach? Don't change the complete code of Eclipse. Rather, just build a toolkit for Eclipse. Just build tools for Eclipse so that you install these tools and now you are able to connect to HANA also. You are able to connect to ABAP also. So with ABAP on HANA, what happened is SAP started developing only toolkits to connect to ABAP, HANA, all the things they want to connect. They just started developing toolkits. So now any Eclipse you can use, and just install toolkit in Eclipse and then you are ready. You can connect to HANA system, you can connect to ABAP system from local computer. Clear everybody what we are going to do? So let's see where can we download this free software Eclipse. It's very easy. The place where we can download it. Yes, you can work with Eclipse to S4 HANA system also. Absolutely. That's what I'll show you now in a minute. Let me just go and show you. So go to tools.hana.ondemand.com. This is the official website for all the downloads, all the free downloads. So just go to step one, go to tools.hana.ondemand.com. Step two, go to ABAP development. Okay, choose here ABAP. This is ABAP development. And now see the version of Eclipse which they are using for ABAP development is Oxygen. And where can you get Eclipse Oxygen? You see Eclipse IDE for Java developer. That's what you need. Click on this link and it will redirect you to Eclipse website. So they are not giving it. They are just asking you to download from Eclipse website, which is free. Okay. And now once you download this, you can now install toolkit in this to be able to do ABAP development. Now you see, by mistake, it has redirected you to the Neon package. Go to Oxygen package, click on Oxygen package, and now you see you are on the right page. If you just click on back, you see earlier it was showing deprecated in behind the scenes. So behind it saying deprecated. So use Oxygen, click on Oxygen, and now you see it's not showing deprecated. So you can use Eclipse IDE for Java developers, Java EE developers. Click on that. That should be okay. And now you got to download based on your operating system which you use. So sometime back somebody was asking Mac OS, I want to access S4 system or our ABAP system. How do we do that? You can do that. You can download this Eclipse for Mac also. Okay. Now for Windows, there are two options, 32-bit and 64-bit. Let's find out which operating system mine is. It's very easy. Just go to your start and now find your computer. Say search for my computer or this PC. Right click on that and click on properties. Okay. Go to properties and find what is the size of your operating system. So can you see here? It's a 64-bit operating system running on Windows 10. Clear everybody? Mine is 64-bit operating system. So now I have to download which Eclipse version? Do I download 32-bit or 64-bit? Anybody? Which Eclipse version shall I download? What is my operating system is? 64-bit. If you download 32-bit, it will not work. So many times student, they download wrong version and then say, Anubhav, nahi chal raha hai. Kaise chalega? You got to download it properly, right? So keep your eyes open. That's why I say keep a notebook with you and note down these small things. It will take some time for you to get used to it. Okay. And then you will be able to do it. Now I say download. It will start downloading this software now. So click on the button. You would see it will start. It will take you another page and now you can download it from here. So click on download. Download begins immediately. Okay. So you see it's just saying that it will start the download. If it doesn't start, then you just click on the button. Okay. It will start downloading for you. Clear everybody? How to download Eclipse? After you download Eclipse, okay, after you download Eclipse, put it somewhere on your computer, extract the file. So you got to extract the Eclipse somewhere in your computer, guys. Okay, somewhere in your computer you got to extract it. So what I have done is I have extracted it somewhere in my computer, and let me just go to that folder where I have extracted it so that I can show you the path where I have extracted it. So yeah, I know the path. I have extracted in my D drive, program files Eclipse folder may I've extracted. So you can see this is my Windows directory where I've extracted this folder. So I created a new Eclipse folder in my program, D drive programs. And here inside this, I've extracted the Eclipse folder. And now when I go inside, I get the eclipse.exe. Okay. So double click on this file. You will see Eclipse will launch for you. Clear everyone? How did we set up Eclipse? So right now, is this Eclipse software able to connect to ABAP system? Will it be able to connect to ABAP system right away if you download and run it? Will it be able to readily connect to ABAP system? Of course not. What did I tell you? What you need to be able to allow this to connect to ABAP system? ADT. Perfect answer. Very good. Very good, Ajit. Very good, Ritu. So we need ABAP development toolkit in the Eclipse after we download Eclipse and run it. So we need ADT so that we can connect to our ABAP system. Okay. So after you download, extract it, double click, run it, you will immediately not be able to connect to ABAP system. Okay. And before you do this activity, I also make sure that you keep your server ready, keep your SAP GUI installed in your local system. Very important, because if you want to work with ADT properly, please install SAP GUI, which is mandatory. Before working with ADT, you have to install SAP GUI, because things which ADT doesn't support will redirect you to SAP GUI window. So install SAP GUI. That's a bare minimum. Okay, that's a bare minimum. So now once you're done, what you will see is it will install Eclipse and you will get a screen like this. This is the kind of screen you will get initially when you start. So you get a project explorer, you get an outline view. This is the code editor view, and you get some windows like this. but that will not be sufficient for you to connect to ABAP system. What you need to do is you need to go to help, install new software, and
Okay.
now type here http tools.hana.ondemand.com/oxygen. This is what you do. Okay, so that's step number 3. So download Eclipse from ABAP section by choosing Eclipse Oxygen based on OS type you have, 64-bit or 32-bit. Step number 3, after download, extract to your system. Okay, somewhere you extract. For example, you have extracted in your D drive Eclipse folder. Okay, for example, now go to your folder and run eclipse.exe. Now your Eclipse starts. Now one important activity, guys, if you're starting Eclipse for first time, Eclipse will ask you workspace. What is workspace? Workspace is nothing but it is a folder in your local computer where Eclipse will store files. Okay, that's what a workspace is. Okay, workspace is nothing but a local folder in your local computer where Eclipse will store some files. So that workspace you create it, whatever name you like, whatever folder you like, you can choose, or you can create a new folder and give an attachment to it. Okay, you launch Eclipse, you got to get this screen, but still it is not ready to connect to your ABAP server. Now a note here, make sure your SAP GUI is already installed. This is one activity you got to make sure. Okay, your SAP GUI is already installed. Okay, this is one. So maybe you example, you have created a workspace with the D drive again, and I say my workspace, let's say my name Anubhav. So I have a workspace created like this. Clear? Now in step number 6, what you got to do? Now it's time to install ADT, ABAP Development Toolkit, in your Eclipse environment. So you got to go to Eclipse, choose help, install new software. So choose help, install new software. Okay, and now step number 7, you enter the URL as, let me just go back and enter the URL as toolshanaondemand.com oxygen. Okay, this is the URL you got to enter and hit enter key. Now you see, guys, it will load the available tools. Okay, do you see ADT ABAP development tools for NetWeaver? Do you see ADT ABAP development tools? Yes or no? That's your ADT, guys. That's the tool you need to install in Eclipse to be able to connect to ABAP system. Okay, just choose that. I would also recommend you, if you're using AWS account, to be able to connect to HANA system, install SAP HANA tools, and also install UI5 development tools for HTML5. These 3 you got to choose, guys. Click on next. It will calculate dependencies and stuff like that. All of that it will calculate, and then it'll just give you, it will guide you through to installation process. Basically just you have to agree, say next. Okay, all that you have to say next, 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 agree, I agree, and finish. Once that is done, guys, you will now see this nice little button called open perspective. Just click on that open perspective button, and when you click on open perspective button, you see an ABAP over here. Yeah, do you see ABAP? If your ADT is installed successfully, you see ABAP in Eclipse. If you don't see, if you don't install it properly, You won't see this ABAP in Eclipse. So installation process may take about 20 to 30 minutes depending on the tools you choose. And you will see now an ABAP perspective. Double click on that, you will get to this screen. Clear everyone? So this is your ABAP development perspective to be able to work with ABAP projects in Eclipse. So step number 7, step number 8, choose ADT and HANA tools and complete the installation. Eclipse will restart. Okay. Eclipse will restart, and what will happen is now you can click on open perspective button and will be able to see ABAP perspective. Okay. You will be able to see ABAP perspective. What is ABAP perspective? ABAP perspective means the required screens to be able to do ABAP development. That's what ABAP perspective is all about. So like in SE80 kind of view, do you see this is like an SE80 view? In SE80 ABAP development tools, what we have on the left side, we see all the objects, and on the right side, we see code editor, right? Don't you think this looks like now an ABAP SE80 transaction, right? That's what this perspective is all about. SE80 perspective for ABAP development. Okay. So that's about setting up your ADT. Now let's go ahead and access our SAP system from here. So maybe whatever is here, currently I'm just deleting everything. I'm not keeping everything, just deleting it. Imagine this is fresh. This is how you're going to get it. Now, I assume by now you already installed SAP GUI and you already added our S4HANA server inside here, or you added your CAL server already inside SAP GUI. I assume that this is what you should have already done. What you got to do is come here and click on right click. Either you right click or you can go to this button, or you can choose file, new project. Okay, file, new project, and search here for ABAP, and you see ABAP project. Just say next, and now you see SAP GUI window. So in the SAP GUI, whatever server you have, you will list down all the servers here automatically, and you choose your server. Say next, say next, and now you provide username, password. So my password I'll give here. Done. And tuck 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 tuck, it's just trying to connect to the server. Voila, my server is now connected to Eclipse. I am ready to shoot ABAP development on Eclipse now in my system. So the same activity you got to follow in your company. If in your company you have an S4 HANA system, or you have a dev system, ABAP development system, you can use same activity to be able to connect from Eclipse environment to ABAP. This is your ADT, ABAP development tools in Eclipse. Clear everybody till this level? All the steps are clear? How did we download? How did we install? All that. Can you please tell what are all the tools we need to install again? Okay, go back, install software, choose Oxygen, and choose this, this, and this. Use these three, they are relevant for us. You can also install everything if you're crazy. Okay, you can do that, no harm installing extra things. No harm in installing extra things. No problem. Okay, no problem. HANA tools anyways already cover the modeling tools. So you can install all of them also, not a problem. Clear? So now we need to install HANA modeling tool also, right, for calculation view. Yes, but since I'm using the server here, remote server, I already have HANA Studio pre-installed in here. I will be using this HANA Studio, rather my local Eclipse, because HANA system related stuff we will do in the remote server. We will not do with the Eclipse from local server. Okay, so that's the reason I did not install the modeling tools here, because here I'm getting ready to use HANA Studio. This is again Eclipse only. You see on the top, guys, same window, perspective, ABAP perspective, same help, install new software. So HANA Studio is just a modified version of Eclipse by SAP, nothing extra. Okay, so we saw how to set up Eclipse, what is ADT, how to connect to your ABAP system from ADT. Now let's quickly look at the benefits of using ADT. When in your company you are going and you're talking to developers and people around you, your manager, they will say, why are you using ADT? Yeah, this is a very common question which comes up. Why you need ADT? Why are you using it? Right? So what are all the benefits of using ABAP development tools in Eclipse? The very first benefit is you can work simultaneously with multiple systems. Okay, so you can work simultaneously. You can connect with multiple systems like dev, queue, prod, all systems using single window. There is no context switching required. If you use SAP GUI, then you have to open multiple windows. Here with the same Eclipse, you can connect to multiple system. Okay, it is seamlessly integrated with SAP GUI. Okay, with SAP GUI, it is already integrated. So whenever there is no support from ADT, a SAP GUI window will open. Okay, I will show you that in a minute. So whenever there is no support from ADT, suppose you write a simple ABAP program. Now I can right click and I'll show you writing an ABAP program. So let me just right click here and create a new ABAP program. And when I run this ABAP program, you would realize that in this ABAP program, there's an output which I'm displaying. Okay, so in that case, in that output, it will launch a SAP GUI window for me. It won't, really need everything. It will just launch a SAP GUI window for me wherever it doesn't have a support from ADT. Now, different systems, different landscapes, and different types of systems all can be connected to it together. So let me create an ABAP program. So maybe I just come to source code library, right click, new, and just create an ABAP program. A very simple report program I'm creating. So I just name it as Z demo apper 1 and I say my demo program and just say finish. You would see now it'll open like a window like ACET window. Same way the way you work with SAP GUI, you would see it here. And just do a simple write statement. Hello, ABAPers. Okay. Just do an activate from here. You see there's an activate button, just like SEAD got activated. Let me just F8, and now it doesn't have a support to display this output, so it'll open a SAP GUI window for you within ADT. So it has a seamless integration with SAP GUI. You see it has opened SAP GUI window. However, same activity you can do it with SAP GUI also. Same thing you can do with SAP GUI. Same thing with here. Clear, everyone? So now you can connect to multiple systems, multiple landscapes, okay, with different types of different systems you can connect. So suppose in your company you are using Java development, you can use that. So for Java development, for UI5 application development, you can do database development, you can do native HANA development, or ABAP development, all these things with a single development tool. That will definitely be an advantage. You don't have to work with so many window NWBC or your web IDE. You can work with same Eclipse environment and do different variety of development using same tool. Okay, that's the beauty. It increases the developer efficiency actually due to this reason, because one single SAPGUI, one single Eclipse environment is used for everything. So you will save a lot of time. So there is no context switching, hence increased developer efficiency. When you use it, you will realize it. Okay, then it's flexible and customizable. So tomorrow, if you want to customize your development environment, it's very easy. You can drag and drop things up. So suppose I want to navigate CDS artifact, I can drag and drop. You see CDS navigator comes here. You want to do an outline view, how your project looks like, you know, your classes looks like. You can have this outline view, and maybe I can customize it. I can put it wherever I like. So I can put it here down, you see. Now outline view is here. Yeah, I can customize it based on the need I have. So that's the beauty of Eclipse. You can double click, you can maximize, you can minimize. There's a lot you can do actually with this option. Okay, so you can customize your development environment based on your choice. That's the beauty, that's the advantage of ADT. What else? It has fast search and navigation capabilities. I will show you some shortcuts which are life saving, fast search and navigation capabilities. I will show you some shortcut in a minute, how you can switch to SAP GUI transaction quite easily from here directly. It supports extensibility, like objects like CDS, AMDP, proxy, or can can only be created by ADT. You cannot create CDS view in SAP GUI, guys. One very important thing, you have to switch to ADT. You cannot create CDS and AMDP at all with SAP GUI. Impossible. Okay. It also supports the debug and transport capabilities. You will see that when I create a program, I will be asked for a package. I can lock it in a transport, very well integrated with CTS. It has ADT, ABAP development, sorry, it has your ATC, ABAP test cockpit. We will see the feature. It has integration with ABAP test cockpit environment. It also has something called ABAP profiler. I will show you how to do profiling in ABAP using ABAP profiler. It it is the only tool for ABAP on HANA, guys. Like I mentioned here, the only tool for ABAP on HANA. If you want to work on ABAP on HANA, this is the only way you can work with these new type of artifacts for ABAP on HANA. ADT. It supports UI development in parallel to backend development. So if you want to develop UI5 Fiori applications, it has a good support for UI5 Fiori development as well. It has inbuilt quick fix capabilities. We can do quick fix, code quick fix. I will show you that. You can modularize code. Using ADT, that's also possible. You have some code templates. I will show you the feature of code templates as well. So see, so many benefits which you don't get in SAP GUI are now enriched with the feature of ADT. Lot of rich features are there with ADT. That's the reason why somebody should go with ADT. Now let's quickly look at some of the key features. If I switch back, is it possible to create CDS using HANA Studio? Yes. What you need in HANA Studio to work with ABAP? Anybody in any Eclipse environment, what you need to work with ABAP? What is that you need? Perfect answer, Udit. You just need ADT. This is what I started with today's class. Any Eclipse environment, be it Mars, be it Neon, Kepler, Oxygen, either HANA Studio, what you just need is ADT to be installed. It's just a toolkit for Eclipse. And whenever you have Eclipse environment, install the ADT toolkit and work with ABAP. Yeah, clear? That's the beauty. So let's look at some couple of shortcuts in ADT. So you can see we already installed ADT also in the server. So you can also work with ABAP project directly from ADT here in HANA Studio. What is ABAP profiler? ABAP profiler is something like if you want to automatically get notification whenever a dump comes in the system. Okay, you can profile it. Okay, I will show you that. That's part of our course. Don't worry. I'm going to teach you real ABAP on HANA stuff. So hold on for the right topic to come. We cannot distract from topic at the moment. Let's focus on ADT. I will come to ABAP profiler also. Okay. Now let's look at some couple of shortcuts regarding ADT. So I will switch back to my ADT. Watch out slowly. Very simple. Control Shift A to search any object in entire ABAP system. Control Shift A, and now you can search any any program, any table, anything in ABAP system. So maybe I search for MM01, and you should be able to find this transaction. You see MM01, there is a transaction code. You can search for VBAC table. You see it searches in whole of the system. This is the kind of advanced search capability I was talking about. You don't get such features in ABAP. Can you search in ABAP like this? I put something and it search every variety of object in the system. Possibly you don't get this feature in SAP GUI. You see, it's finding it here. VBAC is also a function group. It's a table as well. It's a structure also. It's an include also. It's finding it. And you can double click. Maybe I just double click on table and it launches the table in data dictionary for me. Such a native SAP GUI support. So you see SAP GUI window got launched. That's why I was saying SAP GUI is prerequisite for ADT also to work. You need to install SAP GUI first and then ADT. Okay. So Control Shift A. So let me note down them. Control Shift A, and that's for search in entire ABAP system. In fact, I will give you these noted down. So let me not waste my time in noting them down. I'll just show you the capability and I'll give you the list of these shortcuts in the PPT already noted down. Before I upload PPT, I will give you them. So now you see guys, when I search for it, it also highlighting on the left side which package it belongs to. See which package this object belongs to. That also it has selected on the left hand side area. So again, Control Shift A and search for MM01, and you'd see MM01. That's a transaction. Double click, and now see it's highlighting MM01 in part of this package. I can also add this right click package to my favorites. So add to favorites. So next time if I come, you can see my favorites packages, and here it gets added as a favorites package, and you see it has 4,87,316 objects inside. That's the beauty of ADT. I like this tool very much. Then next is Control F2 for syntax check. Go to a BAP report, do Control F2. You can do syntax check. You see at the below, contains no error. It has done a syntax check. However, you can also use the menu option to do a syntax check. Just like in SAP GUI we have it. You see this nice button here, Control F2 for doing a syntax check. Control F3 for activating the object. That's a shortcut. If you just want to open a natural SAP GUI window, press Control 6 and now it will launch. You mention your system, for which suppose I have three systems, dev, queue and prod. All three I can add here now. Okay, all of them I can add here, and I can now choose browse my system for which I want to open a SAP GUI window. Click OK. It will launch the SAP GUI menu window. Okay, the first screen of SAP GUI will be launched, and now you can work just like natural SAP GUI within the same environment over here. Clear everyone? What is that we do? So that's another feature. Control 6 is the shortcut. Don't write. I will give you them in the PPT. Okay, I will give you the list of them in the PPT which are important right now. However, there are so many, but I'm just demonstrating the one which are important. Then comes his next one, quick outline view. So if you have a complex class, let me just open a class. So I press again Control Shift A to open maybe a class in the system. So I say CL underscore OIA. Let me see if I can find one. So maybe there's a class here. I double click inside this class, any random class. And now you can see there's an outline view below, which is indicating that there is a constant, there is a method. Yeah, there is a method, and there are some data declarations in private sections. There are some methods which are private methods. So all that is in the outline view. This is an outline view. Easy navigation you can do via this outline view in the system. Quite easily you can do it. Okay, now if you come here and put Control T, you will see the hierarchy, how this class is built. Is this class inheriting from another class? So put Control T, going inside a function module or inside a class. Better is for class. Control T inside a class, and now it will load the hierarchy of the class, as in how this class was created. Was this class created by inheriting from another class? And what is its parent class, and what is the parent's parent, and what is the parent's parent? And you see it's showing me now this class which is inheriting from this parent class. Again, if I press Control T, okay, first press Control T, you will see the hierarchy, and now you can jump to the parent class quite easily. Okay, so you see Again, if I press Control T, it's showing all the classes within that parent class, which are inheriting from that parent class. Yeah. So first press Control T, it shows you the class which you are into and which is the immediate parent. Again, you press Control T, it will show you now all the siblings with the classes which are in parallel to the current class, which are children of the parent class. You can double click it, it takes you to the parent class also. Again, you press Control T, it shows you the parent class. Again, you go to the parent class. So like this, you can navigate quite easily. Parent. Control T is the hierarchy relationship which it shows you for the classes. Clear? That's Control T shortcut. Can I execute the T code here like as a classical GUI? Absolutely. That's what I showed you. Press Control Shift A and put your T code. Control Shift A and put VA01, whatever T code you have. You can execute them directly over here. That's a transaction. And now you'll see you can execute it. Absolutely. You see it will launch VA01. Yeah, there you go. It launched SE30, the SE93 option, and now from here you can execute. That's your VA01, isn't it? You can do that. Now, if you want to do a where used list, do Control Shift G. Everything you can do. You can do smart form development and everything here in this ADT. It's possible. Completely like SAP in like environment. Now do Control Shift G. It now is searching where used, where all this class is being used. So it's doing a where use now. Control Shift G for where use. Okay, that's what we are doing now. Clear everybody? Couple of shortcuts for ADT. Now let's move on to new ABAP syntax with NetWeaver 7.4. What is the new ABAP syntax with SAP NetWeaver 7.4? And try and understand the new syntax. This was also one of the most asked question by many of you. Anubhav, will you teach new ABAP syntax when it comes to ABAP programming? Yes, we will do that now. So let's go ahead and try and understand how the new ABAP syntax works inside the system. Now, unlimited number of windows open. Yes, that's also a good advantage. With SAP GUI, maximum number of windows, how many you can open, guys? With SAP GUI, how many sessions you can open in total? How many external sessions? No, I think it's 8, not 6. It's 7 or 8, I guess. But here it's unlimited. You can open as many number of tabs as you like in Eclipse. That's the beauty of it. Okay, it's 8 number of sessions, 8 you can open maximum with SAP GUI. Here you can open as many as you want. So now let me show you new ABAP syntax, guys. Yes, NetWeaver 7.4, not 5. It was started from NetWeaver 7.4, all the new syntax from 7.4. So let's quickly start with a simple program. So watch out the POC which I'm building. I will just first show you creating a simple program. So what we will do is we will create an interface if underscore plain. I'm going to create a plain interface, and then this interface will be inherited by something called an abstract class plain. And then I'm going to write two child classes below. The first class is going to be CL underscore plain passenger, and second one is CL underscore plain cargo. So that's my hierarchy, how I'm going to create it. So I'm using oops ABAP here, and I'm going to create an interface, an abstract class, and then there are two child classes which I'll be creating, inheriting from this class. So plain abstract class and then these child classes. This is what I will be doing. So let's go ahead and now build this interface, and then later on I'm going to write an ABAP program, ABAP report, which is going to call some methods of my interface. Okay, very simple. So let's go ahead and do that. So what I will do is I'll just first create an interface plane, and I'm going to put common methods for an airplane inside of this plane class, plane interface. So I'll do everything with ADT now. So I come to ADT, and I'll just first go to source code library section. And you can also do one thing. Now many of you are thinking, what is this ABAP project? Guys, ABAP project here doesn't mean that you're creating a report or a module pool. ABAP project is just a proxy to connect to ABAP system. Okay, you can delete it also. There is no point, there is no harm if you delete it permanently, also no harm, guys. It's just a proxy, it's just a channel with which you connect to your ABAP system. Clear, everybody? Is just a channel with which you connect to your ABAP system. You can delete it any number of times, whatever you like, you can do it. It has nothing to do with real development. It doesn't really store any ABAP code locally, which will get deleted. Everything goes and gets stored in ABAP system. It's just a channel to connect to your ABAP system. Okay, just a channel. ABAP project is just a channel to connect to ABAP system. Very important. Many of you think, what is this ABAP project? It's nothing but just a channel to connect to your ABAP system. Clear? So if you may have another channel to connect to quality, or you may have another channel to connect to production. So let's come back. We're going to start with an interface. So I'm just going to go back and I'm going to create an interface here. So let me just come to source code library, right click, new, and I say ABAP interface. Just name this interface as ZIF underscore plane, airplane interface, and say finish. A new interface gets created. Now the disadvantage here is you get like code editor. You don't get graphical editor to be able to create your oops ABAP objects. So what we can easily do is we can go ahead and directly search for Control Shift A and open SE24 directly from here. That's what we can do. So it opens SE24 now. Let's execute it. And now I'll put my interface name ZIF underscore plane, which I just got created. You can see it's available. I go for change and you see it opens it up here. However, I just want to open it always into the that editor. It's opening just it here. I don't know why. I just execute it. Go to display. Now it's opening always in this. Maybe then I will quickly go and log in with my SAPCOI window and try and create with SE24. So just log in here and I go to SE24 and ZIF underscore plane. I'm creating an interface, guys. Yeah, go for change. It's an empty interface and I'm gonna put some methods inside. Interface, just again to repeat for those who don't know, oops ABAP, it's a pure abstract class. It only have method definitions. It doesn't have any implementation of method. I assume you are all ABAPer and you already aware of these oops ABAP concepts in detail. So fly method I'm creating, and I'm just creating a load method. Two methods I've created. Activate this interface, and now I'm going to inherit this interface by an abstract class. So I come here and now put the ZAC, an abstract class I'm creating, guys. Now I just say create and I say class. Okay, and I say abstract implementation, and I say usual ABAP class, but here I choose it as an abstract class. Okay, and don't make it final, otherwise no further classes can inherit this, because we want to ultimately inherit this abstract class in subclasses. What is an abstract class? Abstract class is a class which is at least one method abstract. It is actually used to implement common functionality of subclasses together in abstract class. You cannot create object of an abstract class ever. Okay, so click on save and say again local object, and now I'm going to inherit the interface. So I put my interface name in interface section, press enter, and you will now see the methods are already inherited from there. Okay, everything got inherited from the base class, from the interface. Now what we will do, now let's look at our business. Let's say I'm working for an aviation company for in ABAP development. Let's say I'm working for Boeing, or I'm working for SpiceJet, or maybe I'm working for Lufthansa Airlines or American Airlines. Now what they ask me to develop is a small ABAP report which allows me to do boarding for passengers and boarding for cargo space in a cargo plane. So, and also they allow me to give instruction to the plane to fly or land. So what I've done is I've added two methods here in the plane class. One is load method and one is fly method. Now, can anybody tell me, is there any difference in flying way of a cargo plane and passenger plane? Do you think cargo and passenger plane take off differently? Anybody? Do you think cargo plane तो जाएगा क्रॉस टेढ़ा मेढ़ा होते हुए, और पैसेंजर प्लेन सीधा उड़ेगा. Do you ever see a difference in takeoff in different planes, different plane types, right? Have you ever seen airport where the planes are flying and taking off? Do you see a difference in flying method of cargo plane and passenger plane? Do they fly differently? No, they all fly same. So do you think now you got to implement the fly functionality differently in different class? Does it matter for cargo and passenger plane to fly differently? So do you implement same fly method two times in two different classes? Doesn't make sense, right? Doesn't make sense. Same functionality. So the functionality which is common, you put it in the base class. You put that here, which is common. You don't write it two times. You just write it in the base class. Okay. And now inherit. Inheritance means everything gets automatically inherited. Is that clear, guys? Is that clear why we are putting abstract class here? In interface, you can never put implementation. So you have to add an abstract class to put a common implementation over here. Okay, fine. Step one clear. Now, is there any difference in loading of a passenger plane and cargo plane? Is there any difference in loading when you fill in something in the plane? Yes. What happens in passenger plane? Passengers are getting boarded. They are humans. They are not goods. What happens in cargo plane? Cargo plane carried freight and goods, right? There is automatically a conveyor belt on which you put the goods, you put the freight, and it gets loaded in the cargo. There is a difference in boarding and loading in both the plane types. Have you ever seen any airport where passengers are put on the conveyor belt and they are getting thrown into the plane? No, right? But you see they're throwing baggages, they're throwing curtains, they're throwing all these things on conveyor belt, and it's then automatically getting loaded, right? So that's the difference between human and cargo. So what is the functionality, which is the method you think it's not common but is specific to each of the plane type? Anybody? Is specific to each of the plane type, which is the method? Load method. That's why you will put the load method as abstract in the abstract class. So this load star means abstract. I'm going to mark it abstract, and I'm going to implement it in the child classes based on the plane type. Okay, clear everybody? What am I doing? What is my design? Is this clear everyone? How the business works? You need to understand business, guys, and that's what we're going to do in our course. We're going to look into some real-time business use cases which will help you to understand. You can project these business cases to your to interview also. Even you don't have zero experience with ABAP on HANA, you can talk about these business cases in interviews. When you are going for interview, they ask you real-time use case. You can talk about these use cases which we will be building. So let's mark load method here as an abstract. Okay, so I select the load method and click on this tiny button and mark this as an abstract. Click on change. I'm marking it as an abstract. Now don't think this is ABAP on HANA. This is Oops ABAP basics. I'm not yet more deep into ABAP on HANA. This is just Oops ABAP basics to get you started with ADT. Okay, don't think this is ABAP on HANA. This is what is there since many years, and as an ABAPer you should know, because this is Oops ABAP. Okay, now coming to fly method, that's what is common for everyone. So I'm going to implement it in this class. So let me just go ahead and redefine. Okay, I double click, say yes, and I'll provide an implementation for the fly method, which is common for any kind of plane. It doesn't matter. So I'm just going to write a simple write statement. I'll say plane is running on runway, Roger, we are taking off. Okay, so plane takes off into the sky. Great, that's my common implementation for both the cargo and passenger. Let's activate this and now come to the cargo and passenger plane class. So gonna implement them. They are not gonna be abstract classes, they are concrete classes. So let's put class plane cargo. Okay, let's do a create, and now I'll say cargo plane, and I'm going to put my abstract class name. So I'm going to inherit from abstract class. So let me click on the button create inheritance, and I say ZAC underscore plane. That's my parent class, and keep it final, no problem, and say save. Again, local object, and you can see both the methods got inherited from the abstract class plane. Clear everyone? Inheritance, everything gets inherited to child class. Very simple. Now, which method do you think you have a specific functionality to cargo? Which method do you think have a specific functionality? Of course, the load method. So now you got to select this and click on the button redefine, because that's what I want. And now here I will say, what is the cargo means? What is the loading in cargo means? Freight is getting loaded by conveyor belt, right? They put everything luggage, your luggage comes on conveyor belt. That's what they do to freight, not to humans. And now let's activate the cargo plane class. We are done. Very simple use case, guys. Remember the picture. That picture is important for implementation. Your design is important. If design is right, implementation is always right. Okay, you all understand design, then it's always right. Come back. I'm gonna now make a copy of this cargo plane because it has everything. Just make a copy and make a passenger plane out of it. So I just click on copy button to create a copy of my cargo plane, and I'm going to create a passenger plane out of it. And the next step, we will be writing a program to talk to this class and understand the new ABAP syntax while working with this. Okay, so we'll be looking into new ABAP syntax while working with it. So let's create a copy, and I just give the name now to passenger pass. Click on OK. So guys, those who have the server access, don't disrupt my code. One warning, don't disrupt my code. Whenever I'm building something in our class, you are allowed to go and check my code because you also have access to same server. You can go and change, you can go and display and look into my code, but don't change my code, guys, because we're going to use this code so many times, many places. So don't change it, please. It's my request to all of you, please don't change my code. Go for change, and now go to load. What is the loading means for a passenger plane? Anybody? What is the loading means for a passenger plane? Anyone? What is the loading means for a passenger plane? Passengers are getting boarded, right? Boarding. Yeah, that's the loading means. Clear everyone, the functionality? And now let's activate. We are done with passenger plane class, cargo plane class, an abstract class which has common functionality and an interface on the top. Clear? Is this design clear? Hope, I guess it's clear. Any questions, feel free to ask me. Very simple use case about the plane class. Now let's write this ABAP report using ADT and look at some new syntax in ABAP which we have it. So you can just close this, and I'm going to write a new ABAP report program. So say new. Why abstract class? There is a question. Who will answer now me why an abstract class was needed here? Anybody? Who will answer this question? Why there was a need of an abstract class here? Who will answer? Any oops ABAP expert? Yes, because we have a fly method which is common, right? Which is common. And that's why we need an abstract class which implements the common functionality, which is common for both the classes. Now you say, Anubhav, why only abstract? I can put a general class also. Why in abstract? Anyone answer to that question? Why can't you put a normal class rather than putting an abstract class? Why do you put it? Why? You could have put a normal class also. Why abstract class? The reason for that, abstract class, you can't create an instance of an abstract class. Okay, I don't want to give an opportunity to this report to access my half functionality. Do you think abstract class is complete by itself? Does it have all the implementation of all my methods? No, it's not a complete implementation. So if I would have used a normal class, people would have a chance that a report program would instantiate this class, and then come and complain me that boss, your load method is not working, right? They can come and complain me later. They can see this class is instantiable. They instantiate it. They call the load method, and then it gives nothing. Then they come back and say, Anubhav, your class is not good. Idea, the design is like this. So I have to make forcefully as an abstract so that nobody can access this half functionality, right? Nobody can access this half functionality. That's why I created as an abstract class, and this is called a design pattern. This is called template design pattern. When you become an architect in your company, you will learn about design patterns. This is called template design pattern. Okay, this is called template design pattern. Just like if you've heard about MVC, model view controller, similarly we have this design pattern which is known as template design pattern. Like this, there are so many other design patterns like facade, factory, decorator, proxy, adapter, you know, MVC, abstract factory, singleton. So many design patterns are there in the world, which are, if you want to become an architect in your company, you got to learn them. And those who are interested in learning design patterns and in context of ABAP with oops ABAP, please subscribe to my oops ABAP course. I was teaching these things like 4-5 years back, and I have recorded videos for oops ABAP. So you can subscribe to my oops ABAP training. In that I've taught it. You will easily become an architect. You can easily become an architect in your company. Okay, so that's what is I am covering in my oops ABAP training, ABAP objects and oops ABAP training. Here is where I've taught about design patterns, all the oops concepts from basic, the way we did today's example. Same way I've taught all the oops concepts. In this I have also taught XML programming using ABAP, which is mainly used for XI, exchange infrastructure in ABAP product, in NetWeaver product. I also talked about control framework, also talk about runtime type service in ABAP, dynamic data declaration in ABAP. All that is covered in this course. That's my oops ABAP training. Many years I did and left it. This is what is expected from you if you want to become an architect in your company. Very important training for architects and learning design patterns. Okay, so this is called template design pattern. You don't want to give an access to half functionality. That's why you forcefully make it abstract so that nobody can create an object of it. So let's come back to ADT. And the beauty of ADT I love about it. Your SAP GUI session will expire after some time. Okay. After some time your SAP GUI will expire, but ADT will not. Okay. That's what I also love about ADT. So those who are taking this course, please, the server also, those who have taken, please use ADT. Don't use SAP GUI window. Okay, use ADT better. ADT is better. Of course, for SE24 you can go to SE24 using SAP GUI, develop it, and then use ADT for reports. So I come here and create a new ABAP program. Guys, also one important point, all these programs which I'm writing, I am going to upload these programs in a notepad file into our blog, so you all can download these notepad files and work with them. So like for example this one, this interface, I'm going to copy this. I will be putting into a notepad file like this, and I'm going to saving this notepad file, and I'm going to upload this notepad file into the blog, training blog. You can download and try it in your system. So I'm not forcing anyone to take my server. It's all your choice. Source code is my duty to share with you. As part of training, I will share it with you. Just try to save some cost yourself. See if you can use your company server. Well and good. If you cannot, then probably try with AWS. If you think AWS is costly, go for the server. But practice bina kaam nahi hoga. You need practice. Without that, it is a waste of your time and money. So please look at some avenue, look at some way so that you can practice things. Practice is very important. And as I told you, notebook and pen is also important. You got to write down every single bit of it. Okay, let's come back. Now I'm just going to create a program here, ABAP program. This is a new ABAP program. In fact, we can use the one which we just you created today. So I'll just go to my ABAP program. Where is it? Where is it? No, I don't see it. Yeah, here it is. ZDemo APR1. This is what we started. Let me comment out this piece of code at the moment. So coding never changes. It's just the development environment changes. So I commented out this piece of code now. And now what I'm going to do is I'll just write some object declaration. So if you want to declare an object, so also you can double click and make it maximize. And now what you can see is you can say data allo object of your interface type ref2 if underscore zif underscore plain. Control space, you see it also does a code completion in ADT. Very good feature of ADT, just like you do it in ABAP. Control space, with control space code completion is also available. You can also see the methods over here which are there in this interface. Now you can put shift enter to complete it. And now I'll just also declare my passenger class object type ref2 zcl plain passenger control space, and I also declare cargo type ref2 zcl plain cargo. Okay, we have done. And now let's also create a parameter p type, a single character, where I will receive from user what is the parameter, which plane they want to board and load. Okay, now I'll just put an if condition. If my parameter type is equals to passenger plane, I'm going to do something. What is that I'm going to do? Else I'm going to do something else. Okay, that's my if condition. Okay. Okay, what, and now you see it's giving some error here. You can just right click and there's an option. You can just, you see it's giving me syntax error. So at design time it does a check, guys, for you. That's the beauty of ADT. So as and when you're writing the code, and if you it finds something bad, it does a design time check only. So while I'm typing, I will know the errors. I don't have to go and press the check button. That's the feature of ADT. Okay, that's a feature of ADT. And if the plane type is passenger, I say create object my passenger plane, and then assign this passenger object to interface. Now, can anybody tell me in Oops ABAP what is the name of this concept when you assign child class object to parent class? What is this concept called in Oops ABAP when you assign a child class object to a parent class? No, it's not called polymorphism. No, it's called narrow widening. Which one? Narrowing or widening? Clearly tell me. What is it called? Narrowing? Are you sure? Are you sure? Narrowing class. Yes. Yes. Okay. It's called narrowing cast. Okay. It's called narrowing cast. This is called narrowing cast when you assign child class object to parent class. When you do opposite of it, it's called widening cast. Clear, everyone? That's what we call it as. So parent to child is narrowing. Okay. Yeah. I think you're right. Parent to child is narrowing, guys. So parent class to child class, if you do, you are narrowing the scope. So that's called narrowing cast. This is called widening cast actually. So you can go and correct me if I'm wrong. You can just check. I also forgot. I'm confused. I think it's called widening cast. This is what I understand. I think I remember as per my remembrance of this. This is called widening cast. Child to parent called widening. Parent to child called narrowing. Clear, everyone? So that's what is the final. Child to parent widening, parent to child narrowing cast. Clear? So this is called widening cast. So let's assign this child class to parent class object. So we will go back to ADT and I'll say interface is my parent class, and I'm going to assign this child class object to this. Child to parent is narrowing. Are you sure, Abhijit? Maybe I will just check that up and come back. Okay. So LO cargo. So that's what we do. And now I'm assigning this. And now once it is done, That's it. Now you can call with the method interface any method. So I will first say load. So first we do loading and then we'll say fly. So that's the program which my company was wanted me to write, an ABAP program to board to get the loading done for any kind of plane and then finally take off the plane. That's the program I have written in ABAP. Clear everybody, the functionality what we wanted, we have written it using Oops ABAP. Let's activate it. Everything looks okay. So by far, I hope all of you understand this is basic core ABAP with Oops ABAP. There is nothing new I have taught yet. This is all what we know with our past experience of ABAP knowledge, what we have it. Okay. This is what we know with ABAP knowledge. Let's test it basically. First, just do a basic testing, execute. It launches SAPQUI window. And now, can anybody tell me what to type, P or C? Which one you want me to test first? Passenger plane or cargo plane? Anybody? Passenger. Let's put P, execute. And now you see, passengers are boarding. Plane is running on runway. Roger, we are taking off. Clear everyone? Is this expected output? When we do passenger plane, this is what is happening. Passengers are now boarding and flying. Let's go back. Now I type cargo. What happens? What should be the output? Freight is getting loaded. Conveyor belt on conveyor by conveyor belt. Plane is running on runway and flying. Clear everyone? What has happened? It's working as expected for cargo plane and passenger plane. Okay. This is what is happening. Perfect. So it's working as expected. Now look at the new syntax, guys. The very first syntax. Let me also do one more thing. I'm going to add one more method which gives you the list of airplane types. Okay. So let me do that. So I maybe go back to ABAP and now create a table type in ABAP. So I go to SC11 transaction and I create a table type ZTT Airlines. Okay. Click on create table type airlines and I'm going to put here an airline type, line type as SCAR. SCAR is a very famous training table which includes all the list of airline codes, all the different airline companies. It is holding it. Okay. This is what SCAR table does. So I'm going to use this method which is now going to return me an airline, all the airline company names out of it. Okay, that's what I will be doing. So I put here a table type. I'm creating a table type in ABAP, and that's what I will be using in my function signature. Okay, so I'll be adding this function into our interface. So let me just go back to another session, and then I just create new method inside of our interface of plane to be able to return the list of airline companies. Okay, so I'm creating a table type. It's taking a little bit of time, so let it settle down. Yeah, I think now let me activate and now just use this table type to be able to create a new return parameter with a method to return the airline company names. So I will create it in interface always. Interface is the contract for development. Now I just go for change and I just create get airlines instance method and just put parameters and I say returning airlines. Put a returning parameter, put my table type and activate it. Okay, I have activated it and now let's implement this method in our abstract class. So ZAC plane and I'm just going to implement this method in abstract class. Let me simply select everything from my DB table and pump it into RT Airlines. Okay, that's what I'll do. We are done. Perfect. So we are done with it. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Yeah. So that's what we have done. You can see we have done that. So we have a method called load. We have a method called fly. And we also have an if condition. Let me also now get the table out of that method, which gives me all the airline codes and print them on the UI. Okay, that's what I'll do now. So I'll put an internal table for scare type and my table type name. And now what I'll do is I'll call my interface to get me all the airline codes and get airlines, and that I'm going to get it into LTS care. Now I will just loop through this, loop at internal table into LSS care and loop. And now I'm just going to print it on the UI. You see, ADT is giving me at runtime what errors are coming. See, at design time, sorry, when I'm designing, when I'm writing, it's identifying the syntax error that I forgot to declare lsschar. That's the beauty of ADT. You cannot get this kind of features in SAP GUI. And I'm just going to print the care ID and care name. And let me just go ahead and declare this schar on the top, like line of LTSK. This is all your classical ABAP programming. Till date, this is what we've been doing in our lives, creating classical ABAP reports like this. Let's go ahead and print this. I'm going to first execute and show you any kind of plane you type. It's going to print you the list of airlines and the codes. Yeah, you see all of that, it's printing. Perfect, no problem. This is all well and good. Now, what's the new syntax with ABAP? So the very first pain point of declaring these variables, these internal tables, these objects, everything you used to declare always using data statement, right? This is what was you were doing in past. SAP have come up with inline data declaration approach where you now don't need to declare all these things on the top. You can declare them without even writing their types in line. How you can do that, I will now show you that. So very first enhancement with SAP NetWeaver 7.4, many people have this myth that it's at 7.5. This all have started with NetWeaver 7.4. So if you have SAP NetWeaver 7.4 in your company, you can start anyways using this new syntax in ABAP with NetWeaver 7.4. So how do you check which version you have in your company? Go to SAP GUI, System, Status, display this component, and now you see SAP basis. Okay, SAP basis here, and you see 751. I'm already above 7.4. If you see this, you're already above 7.4. Clear, everyone? How do you check the NetWeaver version or the basis version in your system? I'm already 7.5. This is S4 HANA system, so it's already on above 7.4. Okay. Now, of course, all the features which 7.54 supports are automatically supported by 7.5 also. So I'm teaching you all these new syntax, which is important for you to know. Of course, there may be something new with 7.5 like task list. Some of the new things were introduced with 7.5. But let's look at the syntax here. So first syntax, first enhancement is inline data declaration. What happens in inline data declaration? We do not need to declare the data on top. We can declare our data objects in line of code itself. Okay. Example. For example, earlier you were doing data LT, or you say itab type table of some type you were using, and then you were saying select star from some table name into table itab, right? This is what you were doing. Now you don't need to do that. You can do the data declaration of itab in line, which means within the line when you are accessing, here only your data declaration can be done. So how? What is the syntax for that? Say select star from table into data parenthesis and put itab. That's it. That's it, guys. This is how your inline data declaration works. It works for majority of the statement, whether it is loop at itab or when you're getting some data from a function or yeah, all these places you can do inline data declaration. Clear, everybody? Now you don't have to put this data statement at all. The data will be created using this data statement and it will also be used here itself. And in further, you can also use this itab in future wherever you like. So loop at itab into work area. Earlier you were also declaring this work area. Now you can also do inline data declaration for the work area like this. Okay, this is called first syntax, very first change with NetWeaver 7.4. Is that clear to everybody? Inline data declaration. The second advantage with ABAP on HANA, I would say 7.4. Now it is possible to separate the columns in selection list, in select statement with comma. Okay, with comma. Okay, so now we'll say select. Dennis, just hold on. You joined the call half an hour before the expected time. So Dennis was invited in the call because he is facing some issue with AWS. So just hold on into the call. We are about to finish our class in next 15 to 20 minutes. After that, I will take up your doubt for AWS, which will also be helpful for the audiences in the current room. Okay, so just hold on for some time. Now select. You can now put your column. Earlier you used to put like column 1, column 2, column 3 into corresponding fields of table itab, something of that sort you used to do. It was not possible to specify comma between the columns, but now with ABAP on HANA or with majority of the databases which allows comma separated column list, HANA also supports it. You can now put comma between these columns, and when you are doing it, when you are doing comma separated column list, it's mandatory to define host variable with at the rate of. So with comma separated column list, it is mandatory to use host variable, which is at the rate of symbol. Okay, everyone, this is what you have to do. In select queries, you should use at the rate of symbol as a host variable when you're specifying comma separated column list. I will show you both the examples now in a minute. So let me just show you both of them together. The very first thing which we were doing in the class, we were writing get airlines. I go inside and you see I was directly putting it like this. Now I will specify here comma separated column list. So I'll say now care ID comma care name. Okay, so I think it's correct. Only the column is care name. Let me just cross check, double click on table and see if there is a care name. Yes, there is a care name. Good. I can come back and now do syntax check. You see it's giving me an error. It's saying if you use new open SQL syntax, which means comma separated columns, okay, you must have to use it throughout and include using at the rate of escape host variable. You must have to use host variables with at the rate of. This is called escaping of host variables. Clear, everyone? Escaping of host variable, that's what it is called. If you use comma separated column list, it's mandatory to use. In fact, it's a good practice to always use at the rate of symbol for escaping of host variables. Now what does it mean? What does it mean, escaping of host variable? Let me do here data and I say care id, type s underscore care underscore id. Okay, now I declare a variable care id. Now what do you observe? This care id and this care id, what is the difference? Anyone who will tell me what is the difference between these two? Are they same? Question number one, are they same? First one is a variable which is like a var. Okay, it's a variable, and this is your column name of the table. They both are different. How will your ABAP language differentiate between them? Tell me. How will your ABAP language differentiate them? What do you think? How will the ABAP language differentiate them? Right? That's what called escaping of host variable. If you put an at the rate of before this, SAP ABAP can easily understand that this guy is actually my host variable, my variable from the program, and this guy is my column. So you can say where char ID equals to char ID. Now ABAP doesn't know actually. So if you do even at the rate of here, you're gonna still get an error. Do a syntax check. You see all the host variables must be escaped using at the rate of. So now you can mention this at the rate of here. Do a syntax check and we are done. You see also you don't have to do an additional into corresponding fields of. Not required guys, not required. Escaping of host variables does the magic automatically. Clear everyone? Escaping of host variables in ABAP. And maybe I can just now put a value here with American Airlines. It's just going to give me one record now out. It's going to work with one record out. I activate this. We are done. Escaping of host variables. You can also do one more thing. Now you can create an internal table on fly. So rather than directly giving this data into an RT airlines, you can do at the rate of data lt scar. This will create now an internal table on fly. So escaping of host variable very important, and then inline data declaration in which it will put the data, and that's it. Maybe I will right now remove the where clause just to comment this out so we can see all the data coming out of the table. And now what I can do is I can also do move corresponding between tables. This is also possible. Earlier you used to only use it with the structures. You can now do move corresponding between internal tables directly. Do a syntax check, everything goes good, activate it, we are done. Clear everybody? What is inline data declaration? What is escaping of host variables? Any variable used in select queries, you should use at the rate of symbol. You can also specify comma separated columns in ABAP in select queries. Three different things we learned in a single method. Now let's do the magic in the program with inline data declaration. So I come back. It's not just it will only work with ADT. Many people may have misconception that it only works with ADT. Even with SAP GUI, same thing, same code. Code doesn't change if you're coding in ADT or you are coding in SAP GUI. Doesn't change. SAP GUI and ADT both are just development environment, just a channel for developer to connect to a BAP system, nothing else. Now coming here, what I'm going to do is you see this creation of this LT pass, LO pass object, yeah, LO interface, all these things has been done over here. So another syntax change, creating objects of classes have been changed. So you don't need to now write create object and declare object two different times. What you can do is you can say come here, enter data, inline data declaration, LO underscore pass equals to new your class name. That's like Java like syntax. Those who work with Java, you know that this is how we create objects in Java or JavaScript. Those who work with UI5, you also know that this is how we create objects in Java or in ABAP. Sorry, in Java or in JavaScript. That's the same syntax. We have it available here inside here. So new is unknown. Why? I can just see if what is the problem. Why it's giving me an error. Field LO pass obscure. Okay, I have to delete this from here. Now I'm commenting this out from here because it's been already declared. So let's comment that out. Okay, where is my star? Yeah, I comment that out, and now you see this create object is also not required, guys. That also it goes off. You see how easy it is to declare and create object. That's a new syntax in ABAP to create objects of a class along with object declaration. You don't need to put data, you don't need to put create object. This single statement, your object also gets declared, your object also gets created. Clear everybody? What is the new syntax to create objects of classes? That's new ABAP syntax, how to create objects in the and the classes. Yeah, that's a third one. Third one was escaping of, second one escaping of host variable, creating object of classes, new syntax using new keyword. Okay, so we use data lo object equals to new keyword and your class name, and then parenthesis, and then inside of parenthesis you got to put your constructor variables. So if at all there is a constructor of a class which is accepting some parameters, you can pass that in the parentheses. Now, one important thing, when you're working in ABAP or JavaScript, these symbols are very important. This symbol, this is very basic thing which many times we ignore, and that becomes a cause of shame for us in company. When you are talking to technical guys, these symbols make a special significance when you're talking to your colleague or your architect. And if you don't know the name of these symbols, though they are very basic things, you sometimes will be feel not that great when somebody will point you out. So this is called parenthesis. The symbols are very important. This is called parenthesis. This is called curly braces. Okay, parenthesis, curly braces, and this one is what called bracket. As talk in developers way, guys. Don't talk as a layman. Many people do mistake. They call this as a bracket, and then when you're talking to phone or in meeting rooms with your architect, they will treat this as a parenthesis. They will they feel they mean this as a bracket, so they will probably go and end up writing a different code, a wrong code. So be very careful. You need to be precise when you're talking. Many people go to interview and come and say, Anubhav, mera hua nahi. Sab kuch, every question I answered very well, everything I knew. Interviewer was very nice. All the question which he asked, I know it, but still I did not get selected. The reason is, problem is not in interviewer, it's in you. To your best knowledge you were able to understand question and answered, but the answer which the guy was expecting you were unable to deliver. You should talk up to the point, which is important. Okay, many times in interview I see candidates come, I ask one simple question, they will evolve around that topic everywhere, उसके चारों तरफ का बात कर देते हैं, but on the topic they will never come back. Okay, so if you ask what are the types of work processes, people will start, okay, work process is a special type of process in application layer. It is used to be picked up by dispatcher. It can handle all the types of request. So I asked what are all the types of work process, and he's telling me what is work process. Come on, how will you get selected? You need to be very precise. Before answering a question, you need to be a good listener. If you cannot listen, if you cannot understand the question, you will end up writing a wrong answer. Maybe you know that topic, but you will still not get selected. Work process type, 5 type of work processes: background, spool, dialog, enqueue, and update. Done. Next question, please. That's what should be the precise answer. If you are not able to deliver precise answer, don't expect to get selected in interview. It is a real problem, guys. We don't listen. Listen is equally important as equal as answer. Okay, and these things, these minor tiny things, they will change your life. This is what is important. You see, we use parentheses, not brackets. Many people say data bracket, वहीं गलत हो गया. That point itself you are wrong. This is not bracket, this is bracket. This symbol has another significance, meaning let's have a look at that symbol. What is the significance of this particular symbol? So maybe first let's look at the syntax of creating new object. We got it created, and now look at the syntax have been simplified. The whole code have been adjusted quite easily now with this. Okay, so that's an assignment. In fact, what you can do is you can also do this. Directly put interface here. No problem. Directly put it. However, let's keep it as it is at the moment. And I just same thing I'm going to do it for the cargo. So I'll just comment out this piece of code from here, and I just do it for cargo. So data, inline data declaration, cargo plane equals to new ZCL plane underscore cargo, parenthesis, and now just, yeah, that's good. And let's comment out the code above. The variable declaration is also gone. Save this. We are good. Let's do a test after converting to new code. Now, some people say with this changed code, does it mean the old code is not valid? Is it mandatory to convert to new code? Now people will sometimes say ABAP on HANA is coming. We need to convert to new code. No, guys, your old code is still valid. It doesn't necessarily needs to be converted to new code. Don't take this wrong. Old code is still valid. It will not go anywhere. It's just a myth that old code will go away. सब कुछ कन्वर्ट करके वापस रीराइट करना पड़ेगा. You don't have to rewrite. Old code is still valid. New code is just for your convenience. You wish to use, you use it. If you don't wish to use, no problem, nobody will stop you. Clear, everyone? Old code is still valid. There is no doubt about it. Okay, now here also you see LTSCR we have declared on the top, not required. Let's remove that. Star. And this guy also, I don't need this, only the plain interface I am keeping. And now I can just do an inline data declaration, data LTSCar, very good, and data LSSCar, also inline data declaration. I save this. We are ready. Let's activate and test our new code. New style of writing code makes it easy for a developer thanks to NetWeaver 7.4 onwards. New ABAP syntax. Put P, just execute. Passengers are boarding. Plane is running on runway. Now go back, just put C, execute. Cargo plane is getting, freight is getting loaded, and plane is in the sky. Clear, everyone? With this small example, three new ABAP syntax types: objects, escaping of host variables, and now this next one, fourth one. I'll take another 5 minutes, guys, and then we are almost done. So next is read table. Now I want to check if I have an American Airlines in it. Okay, I want to check that. So what do you do in ABAP to just check a line if it exists in the internal table or not? Anyone? What do you do in ABAP to check if there is certain value exist in table or not? Certain value I want to read from the internal table. You use read internal table, read table ITAP, which is nothing but LTSCar in this case, into inline data declaration LSSCar, and I will then say with key care ID is American Airlines. Yeah, that's what we do, right? That's what we do. So maybe I just comment out this code, right click, and I can just comment this code out. You can also do a quick fix here. So if you see there's an error it is throwing, you can just do a quick fix. So right click and do a quick fix. And right now no suggestion, that's okay. Then maybe right click, and I'm just going to comment out this whole piece of code. So just come here and then just see quick outline, open with. So there's a way source code, and you can see toggle comment, control 7 or add comment, and you see whole code is commented out. Clear? Now I'll use this, and now I'm going to just write if it has found the record. So I just say write statement and this. Now let's come and activate it and execute it. Sorry, lscar hyphen, I'm going to print care name. So it will find a record with American Airlines. It's going to print it, guys. Okay, let's activate and see. It is just going to print American Airlines now because it will find a record in your internal table. So just go ahead and execute it directly. And you see it's printing American Airlines here. Clear, everyone? How do we use read table? Nothing exceptional. This is what we all been doing in ABAP by far in our lives. Now, same thing, this whole thing can be converted to another syntax. Let me show you that. That's called table expression. What is it called? Table expression. Okay, it's called table expression. So what you do is put this internal table. Now bracket. Who will tell me what is bracket symbol? Who will tell me what is bracket symbol? Anybody? Who will tell me what is bracket? Again, you're doing mistake. Again, many of you are writing wrong. You're writing parenthesis here, which is not bracket. That is parenthesis. That's why I told you looks very trivial, very basic. You see, bracket is this. This is parenthesis. Okay. See, ये छोटी छोटी गलतियां हैं जो निकल के बाहर आ रही हैं. These things I will take out from you and I will remove them from your life. These problems, these small things which are hampering you, which are not allowing you to talk up to the point, I am going to take out from your life. So that parenthesis, I'm talking about bracket. That's a bracket. Put bracket. And now come back. And now what we'll say is, we are now going to say care ID equals to American Airlines, and then hyphen my care name. That's it. That's it, guys. That's it. Oops, looks like some problem. Let me see. Care ID is unknown. LTS care is my internal table name, and in that LTS care I have a field called care ID, and I'm just trying to read the value from that. It's not allowing me to read. Ideally it should allow. That's what we do. So instead of writing read table statement, we are actually going to write this care ID equals to the value hyphen care name. That's what should work. Why it's not working? Yes, I think there's a space which is missing. So internal table space. Yes, that's the problem. So yeah, correct. So now you see this is equivalent to this read table statement. Clear everybody? This is called table expression. What it does, this first thing, this whole thing is equivalent to read table. I tap into work area. There's no work area, however, somewhere it reads, and based on this condition which goes inside the brackets, hyphen the column name which you were earlier reading. Just do a write statement of this. Okay, so this is what you also have a new table expression, guys. Clear everyone? A table expression syntax which is superseding the read table statement in internal table. Now save this and just go and look at the output. You're going to see same result. American Airline will be displayed on the UI. That's called table expression. There is a drawback of table expression which I will show you in a minute. Let me show you first the output. It should behave exactly same the way it was working earlier. Same way it will be working. Yeah, you can put dynamic value, no problem. Instead of American Airline, you can put your variable. No need of hard coded value. Okay, no need of hard coded value. That's completely fine. Okay, it does a automatic search behind the scenes. So in read table you can specify binary search. Lot of options you have with read table. Transporting no fields, lot of things you have with the read table. Yeah, just wanted to check if the record is there or not, so you can say transporting no fields. Yeah, and then you can do sub rc check. Those things are not there. It's just an easy way of writing read table statement with table expression. So the things which you are imagining with the read table are all not there with this new expression. And now you see it's working, and you see American Airline is printed. But there's a drawback. The drawback is if I put here an airline which doesn't exist, let's say oh, now there is no airline with this code, and I'll run this. Let me activate. Yeah, let me activate and execute it. So I'm going to execute it, and let me just pass maybe P. Execute NEC. It leads to dump. So be careful. If you are sure that the key which you are looking is available, then only use table expression. Otherwise, don't use it. It would lead to dumps. Okay, so this is a very risky statement. Many times I see people are just fascinated by new syntax. They want to show off and they start using the syntax, but they don't know the consequences of such syntax. It's my duty to tell you the consequences as well of what to use, what to not use. So don't adopt table expression until unless you are really sure that there is this value which do exist in the system for that particular key. If you are sure, then definitely use it. It's easy way of writing, better way of writing, less amount of coding, no need of extra work area. So you see here you need extra work area, but here you don't need an extra work area. You will save some memory, but it would lead to dump the moment your key value is not available. Okay, that's your table expression. Yes, you can of course use try and try, which is your exception handling code, but it would lead to dumps. Okay, this is my duty to tell you. Choice is yours. Of course people would wish to use it with try and try. Again, you got to do error handling, but that's your choice. I mean, for me, I think if I would have to use, and I'm sure that there is a key value already exist, I would use table expression. But if I'm not sure that this key may exist, may not exist, then I would probably not use. I would probably use read table with transporting no field with a check. Okay, that's what I will be doing usually. Now let's move on to the last one. It's called string expression. So this is all table expression. So in the table expression, what we saw is read table statement gets converted. So that's the fourth one, table expression, where you have a read table, I tab into work area with key column equals to value. So now here you have I tab bracket column equals to key value hyphen the column. This is what you can use. Caution, it would lead to dumps sometime. The last one comes is string expression. Okay, there is more to it. I will come to it, but we will close after this one. String expression, very easy. What do you do to join multiple strings in ABAP? Anyone? What do you do in ABAP to join multiple strings? You use concatenate, right? Very good. You use concatenate statement. Your lvstr1, lvstr2, and then sometimes hard coded string, hard coded values into lvvar. This is what you use. Okay, final. Something of this sort to concatenate. But now you have an easy way. It's called string expression. You can use pipe operator to concatenate strings and variables. Okay, so how you use is lvstr equals to the pipe operator, and whatever hard coded values you need, you keep on putting them. Hello world, hello all ABAPers, this is session from, and then now inside of this you can put your variables in curly braces. That's the third symbol I was talking about. What is it called? Curly braces, not parentheses. So curly braces, and now here you put your variables. If you have some variables in a bar program, put them with spaces. Space is important. You got to put it with spaces. And now you can again start your string session from this by again a variable lv by curly braces again on, again you can now use system variable on side datum, like this you can use. So this is how you can build your complete string. No need of concatenate. Okay, no need of concatenate. Clear everyone? This is what you can use. Okay, so let's save this. Let's go ahead and run this and see it in the system. So I'll come back and just try that up. So don't think again, it's a misconception that it only works with ADT. Same code, copy this, put it in SE38 or SE88, it will work. It doesn't change based on ADT or based on SAP GUI. They are just development environments. Let's come back. I'm going to write a nice quick string. So maybe just going to print that up here. So I'll say write directly with the write statement I'm doing. Okay, and say new line, and then I use pipe operator, and inside of this pipe operator, let's go ahead and write this. So let's say this is an ABAP on HANA session by, and then maybe I use curly braces, and now inside this curly braces you can put your variables. So maybe I just want to put this whole thing as it is to print it. Yeah, and then say conducted on, again curly braces, and now inside this I can say psi hyphen datum. So like this, the whole string will get constructed. No need of additional variable where you collect this information, what you've been doing in the past. Okay, no need of extra effort in creating a third, fourth variable to concatenate and put it into it. You can keep specifying like this. And curly braces means here it's a variable value. In the middle you want to inject a variable value like side datum or any local variable you have. Whatever you have, you can inject them over here like this within the curly braces. There has to be a space between the curly braces end and beginning, which is important. I can now save this and let me just activate and show you the output. This whole thing will be printed on the UI. So no need of concatenation operation separately. So let's come here, passenger plane, execute. And I see this is an ABAP on HANA session by American Airlines. You see that was the value conducted on and today's date. It has picked up from side datum. Clear everyone? String expression using pipe operator. You can also join multiple lines quite easily. So you can come here and put ampersand ampersand, and now you can write next line. Okay, like this. If you have too big string, you can write like this. So this is now joined with first line. Like this, you can shift it to next line also. You can put dots, you can put single quotes, doesn't matter. Wow. So you see earlier in concatenation of operation, if you have to put value with single quote, what you used to do, if you have to display a value with concatenate using single quotes, what you need to do, you need to put four times the quote used to be put, right? Four times you have to put the quotes, single quotes. Now it's not really typical. You can just put your quote, it will take it as it is, as a literal everything what is written in the type. That's your string expression, very powerful. I'm going to use all this syntax in future, guys. In our upcoming days when we write more complex scenarios, I'm going to use all these different variety of syntaxes in our coding. Clear everyone? I'm going to use all of this in our coding so that you'll get used to this code. My first duty is to teach you the basics, and then in advance we're going to use all these syntaxes right away. And you see this wow is printed with single quote. You don't have to now use four quotes to be able to join a quote inside a concatenate, what you typically do. So easy, so nice and easy way of writing your literals. So you've got to focus more on your literals, more in your text, rather than focusing on how to join it. Okay, that's called string expression. There's something called very powerful value expression, which I'm going to discuss it tomorrow. That's also part of new syntax, value expression, which I will also demonstrate to you tomorrow. And some functions, SQL open SQL functions, I will be demonstrating to you tomorrow's class. Okay, any questions, anybody, regarding what we did today? What is ADT, how to get started with the development, how to connect your server from SEPGUI, all the different new syntaxes with the expressions what we have learned. I'm going to show you case expression and SQL open SQL expressions in tomorrow's class along with value expression. Okay, any further questions, anyone, before we move on to the last topic of the day? Can you please explain again when to use data itab at the rate of itab? Okay, let me just go back to the SQL query again. So I'll go to the SQL queries. You can also, okay, good point. So do control and click on it, it will directly take you to the class. Do press control and click on the method name, it will take you to the class method directly. You see, it has taken me. Now here, as I told you, whenever you use comma, you have to use escaping of host variable. So what I used to do is, earlier we have to declare this internal table data, this type table of scar, and now I just remove this LTSCAR. Now what happens is, when I save this, you see there's an error coming. Okay, this error says that you must use escaping of host variable. Since you have put here comma separated field list, you must have to put at the rate of before your host variable. Host means in this the data is come and going to sit inside this. That's your host variable. That's what it is saying. So if you remove the comma and save it, the error goes away. But with the new ABAP syntax, open SQL statement with SQL queries, you can put comma separated selection list. This is allowed now. The moment you use this, you have to put, it's a rule, you have to put escaping of host variable using symbol at the rate of. Is this part clear? Part number one. Is this part clear? So when you put comma separated column list, you have to put at the rate of before your host variable. That's what syntax is, new syntax. That's you have to follow this now, new rule of the game. Okay, now I save this, it works. Now, second thing which I taught is inline data declaration. So if you want to do inline data declaration rather than doing this whole thing, what you can do is this whole thing you can remove. You can come here and just put data around it. Put data in around it. That's it. That becomes your syntax. So there are two concepts. One is escaping of host variable plus inline data declaration in this. There are two concepts here in this. Is this clear now? Okay. Thank you, Bhaskar. Good. Let's activate it. I'm going to upload this code into the training blog. You all can try in your own systems in above wherever you guys are practicing. Practice is important. That's what I have to say. Now with that, I guess we are done. So Dennis, over to you. Please share your screen. Please unmute your line. What doubt you have regarding AWS? Let's take a look at it. So anybody has any doubt on AWS, the floor is open. You guys can discuss your AWS doubts. I'm ready to answer everything. Dennis, are you there? Please unmute your line. I can't hear you, Dennis.
Just a moment.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'll give you the presenter rights. So just go ahead and share your screen.
Okay. Okay, I have to download something to make it available.
No problem.
One moment.
Yeah, do it. Anybody else? Any doubt on AWS? If you have any doubt, please keep it ready. Let's look at the Dennis doubt first, and then we'll look at some other doubts. I guess Farhan, you also had a doubt. You also joined. I can see you joined the session, and I guess there were some more people who had doubt. I invited all of them. So we will look at all the doubts on AWS.
So I will connect to my cal server.
Yes, please.
So in fact, I'm trying to get Launchpad to make it working, and I follow the guides from your sessions. But
Okay.
I have always the message that the page cannot be reached. So I don't really know what is the problem. So my screen is really small because of the resolution of my laptop. Sorry.
No problem. That's okay. So you're trying to launch the launchpad, is it?
Yes.
Oh, wait. Now here you see this is asking some exceptions to be added. No, that's okay. You launch the launchpad. We'll see the issue.
Okay. And so the launchpad itself. So this is the error.
Perfect. This is what I wanted. Very nice. Copy the URL, please.
Sorry?
Copy the URL. Copy
This
the
one.
URL.
This one,
Yes,
yeah.
that URL. Yes,
Okay.
copy that, please. Now minimize your remote desktop connection. Yes, and open a notepad, please.
Okay.
Open a notepad, please. Now place the URL which you copied over here. Very nice. Now go to your Cal account and show me your IP address, external IP address.
Here it is.
Perfect. Copy this IP address in the same notepad file. Yes.
All right.
Now go press Window R. Window R. R as in Russia. Window R. Yes. Type here drivers.
Yes.
Drivers. Type in drivers. Press enter.
Like this?
Yes. Very good. Press enter.
Okay.
Now go to etc folder. etc folder. Okay. Very nice. And copy this host file to your desktop.
My host file?
Yes. Copy this to your desktop.
File here?
Yes. This file you copy from here and minimize the window. Go to desktop, paste it. Very nice. Double click on the file and open with notepad.
Okay. Notepad++ it's okay?
Yeah, that's okay. Now guys, this is the file where we have to configure the IP address and the virtual host mapping. Okay, so the servers which we are all using, they're all working on public IP address, and for each IP address there's a mapping with the virtual host which you got to do it. Okay, so here now you paste your IP address from the cal which you copied. Yes, and then put tab key. Yes, no space, no space. Go back, tab key. Yes, and now go back to the system. In the notepad file, in the notepad file. Now only, yes, only this part. Perfect. To sap.corp, up to sap.corp you got to copy.
Okay.
Copy this, save it, minimize.
Right.
Now copy that host file and paste it back to the etc folder.
I can overwrite.
Yes, you can overwrite. And this activity you have to do every time you restart your Amazon Web Server, because the IP address would change every time. Right?
Okay. So now if I do it from my local
Local
machine,
computer.
it will
Try
work.
with your local computer. Yes. Try with the local computer.
This. Okay.
Put this in your browser, in your local computer.
Okay.
Allow security.
Perfect.
Enter your password. Congratulations. You can now access Fury Launchpad from your local computer, which is
Perfect.
Cal.
Thank you very much.
I don't.
But why is it not working from from my the remote connection? Why is it not working?
The same activity, if you perform in remote connection, it will work from
Okay.
remote connection also. The host file is the magic. And that's why, guys,
Okay.
for our S4HANA server, which I'm giving access to many of you, I'm also recommending you to put the host file so that all the OData, you can also access OData services now, Dennis, from local computer.
Yes.
All the OData services you can access from local computer. Magic.
From which screen?
Magic, isn't it? Magic. That's a trick.
Yes, perfect.
Okay, good. You can access Launchpad Designer, OData services, everything. You can now also build using local web IDE, Fury application using OData in your Cal server. Now remember, every time you restart your Cal, the IP address will change and you got to update your host file with the right IP address. Okay.
Does that mean that I don't need now, if I can put this address VHCL, etc. into my Eclipse and sub GUI instead of the IP address?
No, you can also do that. Yes, you can. But let's keep IP address, no problem. For SAPGUI and other things, that's fine, no problem. But if you restart your Amazon server, your IP address will change, which you need to update in your host file, okay?
Yes, but what I mean is currently now, every time I go to Eclipse after I started my cal, I need to delete
Yes,
this
you can
one.
now also use this virtual host here in Eclipse, actually, yes. You can
Okay.
add a new system with virtual host also. So you don't have to go back and change IP address in HANA Studio or SAPGUI or ADT. You can just go and change at one place in your host file and it will all work naturally. That's
perfect. That's something that I wanted you to ask. So that's answer all my question now.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's my duty. Who else is next? Any other doubts? Anyone? Please feel free to ask on any server, whether using Cal or using local or anything else. What's the HANA on-premise as compared to other options? I did not get your question. Once you have AWS, then how to add the server details to SAPGUI? Dennis, can you show them? Once you have AWS, how did you add your server to SAPGUI from AWS? Can you show them once, Dennis? Dennis, are you there? Can you hear me? I think his connection is broken. Okay, no problem. Okay, Farhan also has a doubt. Okay, let's go to Farhan. Farhan, please share your screen and unmute your line.
Uh, hi, Anubhav.
Yeah, hi.
I had sent you one issue which I was facing.
Sure,
Uh,
sure.
that was regarding the connect. Okay, actually.
So there is a question here also in the meantime. What is SAP HANA on-premise? It's nothing but HANA installation in your company on your own hardware cost. Okay, that's
Are
what
you
HANA
able to
on-premise
see
is
the
all
screen
about.
now?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, so this doubt initially I had sent to you is that I was not getting my server name itself in the service catalog.
Okay.
I checked out. There was an issue where I was missing the. I had misspelled the name of the server itself in the destination file. So now I'm getting it. This I'm getting it. Okay, but I'm getting a new error which is catalog service unavailable.
No problem.
I don't
Close
know.
this. Close this.
Okay.
Are you using Chrome browser?
Mhm. Yes, I am.
Okay, no problem. Open the web ID in Chrome browser. Are you a UI5 student of mine?
Yeah, I'm actually your the first UI5. Yes, that's it.
Acha. Okay.
Uh,
Because so those who are ABAP on HANA trainees, maybe this may not be relevant for you because he is having a UI5 related thing. Uh, he's actually looking into connectivity from SAP Web ID where he's building Fiori app and want to connect to SAP system. However, it may be important.
I'll give you a brief Anubhav here. What
Yeah.
I am doing is I have my web IDE on the cloud itself. Okay,
Okay.
and I'm trying to connect through the connector. I've already cloud connector. I have created the connection between that, and on my on-premise company server, I'm connecting it. So I'm trying to establish that, and now I'm facing when I'm trying to access from the web IDE, I'm getting this error that I showed you.
Okay.
So how
Open
do
your
we
web ID
resolve
in
it?
Chrome browser once.
Okay, so I
I
need
will show you how
to.
to troubleshoot issues. I will make you self-dependent rather than being dependent on Anubhav always. Any issue you can troubleshoot. Udit, you are also doing, I think, same thing. You're trying to connect from HANA Cloud Platform Web ID to the on-premise system. So Farhan, is it possible to tomorrow to spare some time with Udit and help him also to achieve the same thing? What you achieved?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll
So
do that.
if you don't mind, I can share your email ID to Udit and he will speak to you tomorrow. Are you in India?
Yes, I am in India.
Okay.
You can
So
share.
Udit will call you tomorrow and help him to set up also this cloud connector connectivity to the on-premise system. Just guide him. However, it's already clearly explained in my video, Cal video, but still I would say if you can help him, it will be good thing. Yeah. So let's
Sure.
look at first your problem. We'll see that. Okay, good.
Actually, I am using my this Firefox. That is
No
because it
problem.
has by
No
default
problem.
JSON and
No problem. That's okay. It should work with it.
this
If you
has
have
logged
a
into
cloud
my.
connector in the middle, go to Neo Trial. I think it's in Neo Trial, right? Yours is in Neo Trial.
Uh, Anubhav, I'll have to and share a little while because I have to use my password and user ID on
Acha,
this.
okay. Let
So
me.
can I do that?
You can unshare your screen or you can pause your screen sharing. Now go little slow so I can show you how you can troubleshoot. Now hold on here. Press F12.
Mm-hmm. 12.
Yeah, press
Okay.
F12. It will open the developer toolbar. Very nice. And now click on this dot button on the extreme top right corner next to the cross button. Dot button. No. On the right, extreme right corner. Yes, here. Choose the second last option in dock side. Second on the top, you see dock sides. 4 boxes are displayed now on the top.
Open.
No. Above.
Okay, sorry.
Yes, this one. Perfect.
Yes.
Now go to network tab. Now guys, once again, I repeat, this is not relevant for ABAP on HANA students. You may not be aware what we are doing here. This is purely UI5 Fiori related stuff in JavaScript. However, some of you may be interested in that. You can stay here. Just close this wala window. Yeah, this one, this below wala window. Yes, very nice. And you can see also a button over there on the top, near filter, group by frame.
Okay.
Can you see group by frame? Next to the group by frame, previous to the group by
Yes.
frame.
Yeah.
Yes, click on that.
Hide overview or what?
Yeah, click on that.
What I have to do?
Click. Bas, theek hai. Now go ahead and choose the type of the template in the application which you want to build the Fiori app for. Go for next. Give a project name. Go for next again. Go little slow, okay, because we may need to stop somewhere. Okay, very good. Now expand this once again above, little above, and clear this console. Near to the red button you see a small symbol, stop button. Usse clear ho jayega sab kuch. So yes, click on that. Yeah, next to that, yes, this one,
Clear.
this one, clear it, clear everything, clear everything. Now just choose your drop down. That's it. Just choose your drop down, your system from there. Now above, yes, click on that. You see there's below a call which is going. It will also show you here if there's an error, and you see service collection. You see there's a call which is gone, second call which is red. Double click on that. This is the call which is going to your backend system which is failing. Double click. It will launch in a new tab. This is what is the
Access
issue.
denied to the.
Okay, your
This
SAP
is an authorization issue.
access denied. You see, access denied. So it's authorization.
So
You can't access the
authorization.
catalog service of your gateway system. You see, access denied to resource this on your system Fiori dev
Okay.
spacematrix.com, whatever it is. And in case was a valid request, ensure expose the resources correctly to your cloud connector. So could be an issue that your cloud connector configuration has something missing. Go back to cloud connector configuration in your local system. I guess you installed it in local system, right?
Yes, in the local system.
Go to
Here
cloud
it is.
connector screen. This is not cloud connector. This is an entry of the cloud connector which you had done a handshake to your HCP account. Go to cloud connector. You would have opened the cloud connect. Yeah, this one is
Okay.
cloud connector only. Correct. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay.
I am on
Now,
the cloud connector.
yeah. Go to on premise to cloud.
Okay, I haven't done this on premise cloud.
Ah,
We have to do this
cloud
as
to
well.
on premise. Have you done? Go to cloud to on premise.
Yes, that I have done. That I have done, and it is showing reachable. As you have told in the video, I have done exactly so. It's
Yeah,
okay
this is
with
all
that side.
okay. Then I think you have an authorization issue. Just check with your administrator. I think that's all you need to do.
But do
I
we
guess
have to do this
resource
on
access
premise to
rules.
cloud also?
No, that's not required. That's the other way communication, not required.
What does this mean then? On premise to cloud? What does this mean actually?
So one is cloud to on-premise when there is a call comes from HCP to your on-premise system, like you're calling OData service. Yeah, that time this will be used.
Correct.
But on the other side, if you want to make a call to cloud from your on-premise, that time this second scenario is in use, which is not in our scope at the moment because we are just accessing from cloud to on-premise. So this is an authorization issue of your backend system. If you can log into your gateway system and go and show me SU53, maybe we will know what's going wrong.
You want me to the front end of the NetWeaver gateway system, right?
Yeah, front end gateway system SU53. If you can go and show me.
The authorization was successful.
I don't know then.
There is no
Looks
error.
like an authorization issue, man. Just go to
When I log out,
/iwfn/main service transaction.
I checked this also. It gave me a reply.
It gave you a
And,
reply.
yes.
But why your host
I
name is SAP Fiori? It's not working. See, it's not giving a reply. No, not locally. It should work remotely. From browser, it should work. यहाँ पे तो चलेगा
तो
गेटवे में.
बेसिकली हाँ वेब पेज से वो एक्सेस नहीं हो रहा है.
Yes.
सर्वर से एक्सेस नहीं हो रहा है. So
Yes.
there is something related to the
Your basis guy has to
that
give you
server
the
is
correct virtual host details actually.
okay. Fine.
Okay. ये चलना चाहिए.
Fine.
मेन ये. ठीक है.
ये
Okay.
चलना चाहिए. अगर ये नहीं चला तो
Yeah.
ठीक है.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
So I will. Can you share your email ID with here, so that tomorrow Udit will call you. I will give your email ID.
Sure.
Or maybe note down in a notepad. Open a notepad and put your email ID here and contact number, so that Udit will call you tomorrow. Udit, call him up. Disturb him. Okay, we'll see.
This is my email ID.
Fiori Launchpad, why do you want to connect Fiori Launchpad from Eclipse? There's a question here. Only browser should connect to Fiori Launchpad. There is no point in connecting Fiori Launchpad from Eclipse. It doesn't make sense. Okay.